Na deni step kwa beat. Down comment section mission kan ko lit. Check it. Physically najua niko fit. Beat ikiwa on the wet mimi naruka on it. Check it. Aseme jana bonga kitu na feel. Tuliwachagua kumbe house watu real. Pole pole unachekiwa na to kill. Last week nasikia walipitisha finance bill. Nimechoka acha tu nipige miayo. On top bana boy tuimbe shayo. Form na leta nataka mcheze nayo. Wapi ma whips za kupiga zakayo. Wapi mata nipatie kibarua. Ama arati jusimba atararua. Sini mangombe vile wanatukamua. Makosa ni ya nani si wenye waliamua. Cheki fuel ko juu mimi napiga route 11. Kitu tunadundo tunajajiwa heaven. Natak wanadhani nini neve. Jota vumilia hadi 2027.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just listened to an amazing creative story by young people expressing themselves on mad politics, what they think and how they feel. Kenya as a country has a history of terrible street demonstrations that have turned violent and killed so many, literally every 5-year cycles, because all this were bent on ruling party and opposition politics. The youth bulge has continued to cause a lot of issues, concerns, and has been a point of mention over and over again. This time, the year is 2024, and Kenya is about to witness unprecedented situations as the young people declare that it is their time, and there's a day that was gonna come for them to come together, and together they have. Standard practice globally is such that governments would rely on taxation to be able to facilitate their own expenditures for development of any nation. And people would want representation, and not just representation, but everybody needs services commensurate with the taxes that they pay. So nobody has any issue with taxation. But enter Finance Bill 2024 and Kenya explodes Generation Z. Why would everybody fight a situation that would work towards their betterment? Those are the big questions that people are asking. But here we are questioning expenditure, expenses, extravagance, and more. And Kenyans want
Article 37.
an answer.
So tomorrow, we don't need anybody's permission to go protest.
God have mercy upon us.
Hello?
Halo, Mera Zakayo.
Jameni,
God have mercy.
msiniite majina mara Zakayo mara nani.
Sasa unataka tukuite nani?
Mimi naitwa William Ruto.
Ati William Mangowa?
Ruto na
Bwana sisi tunakujua kama Zakayo.
Zakayo ni jina, hakuna problem. Tunaweza kusonga mbele.
Sawa sawa, ni Mera. Mimi maoni yangu ni mkate ikuwe 5 bob.
Hapana, no.
Kama ni no be ready, maandamano tunaleta hapo State House. Hebu patia Rigiji simu na nibo.
Nasikia unasema we are doing it for TikTok views. Of course I'm doing it for TikTok views and I reject the finance bill.
Ati tungoje made in Kenya ndio tuanze kufunga watoto diaper. Of course I reject the finance bill.
Ati shamba yangu ikuwe ni leasehold, I reject hiyo kitu.
Just because we're tampons, the rest of us wanyeshe bure. I reject the finance bill.
Cancer treatment pia mnataka kutax na motige shonoka. Nendare gana nago fio.
M-Pesa transactions zangu unazitakia nini? Wapi privacy? I reject the finance bill.
Sisi ni GenZ na hatutaki hiyo finance bill na hatuelewi.
Reject the finance bill.
Hawa watu wa mama mboga na ule wa bodaboda na hawa wa mkokoteni na wheelbarrow na huyo wa kioski na makanga, tutaunda serikali ya mahasla 2022.
It's a shame. Why is it that youth your age in other countries with fewer resources than Kenya are driving cars, having a good life, while you're here in Kenya and you're broke and jobless, as other people steal your money and livelihood? Do not be spectators. Do not be spectators as your life is being messed up. You are a force to reckon with. You are the fresh movement for fresh thinking and fresh action.
Tutaunganisha stima, tutaunda barabara, tutajenga serikali na vijana ya bodaboda na mama mboga. Mr. President ni Ruto. gani unatupeleka? Kusema education ni free na vile books ni expensive ni ku-exercise our minds. Kusema education ni free na jana kuna mtoi alisare shule juu alikosa uniform ni ku-exercise our minds. So
wacha niwashow, Kenya sio ya mabazu wanaokaa kwa kamati ufisadi wakisikiza turu za Japani. Tukiwa show ati graph yetu haina kibali, hakuna kazi, wanatudismiss kalale. Sisi sio wapenzi watazamaji, maisha yetu sio ya bahati. Wakiuliza sisi ni wanani, tuwashow ya kwamba sisi ni wa yule mama, baba, jamaa, mrembo, mtoto ambaye umempiga kiboko ya mateso. Mastingo yenu yamefika kikomo. Sasa ni wakati wa fresh.
Wakenya oye! These protests are not about me, they are not about Boni, they are not about Mathias, they are about Kenyans. Ni about GenZ wenye wametokea, wase TikTok, wase Twitter, wase Instagram. Nyinyi ndo wanoma, manzenyini wanoma, na do not let anyone put you down. Yes. And tokeeni kesho na mtokee mwongele all those taxes that we are fighting against.
There's a shift in public participation in this country. There's a shift from the protests that we saw yesterday. We can see that these protesters that were there yesterday are protesters that actually know their rights, actually know the law, actually understand the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which states that all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya, which states that we have a constitutional mandate to put our leaders in check. So yesterday, it was Kenyan youths coming to exercise their constitutional mandate.
There's nothing good about this morning. Kesho 12 p.m. nje ya parliament. Hata ukiweza kuja even earlier, because I'll be there earlier. Sawa, nitakuwa na shati yangu hiyo ya Hitman. Ukinispoti hapo say hi, but like for real guys, according to Article 37, it states that we do have the right to protest. Okay, so like we kuja. Kama ni story za security, angalia to the banner I'm gonna post after this, utaona what they said about it. So we kuja, lakini usikuwe mjinga, kuja na staff zako pia. No ukuje ukue prepared pia, sisi kuna GenZ wezi. Sawa, we just stay safe, bora umetokea. Ukikosa kutokea hivyo ndo watu walikosa kuvote last time. Sasa unakumbuka ukuvote, si ndio? Ona sama mama ndo zimekaa huko. Hudhani uko na reason ya kutokea? Nakwambia hiyo foreign umeshikilia sasa hii itakuwa 3 so next week 300. Unadhani utaenda Samatites? Tokea. Millennials wenye awako ugo, wenye si part of those makondos, please tokea pia wewe, kuja na placards. So please msijidisappoint. Juna comment kuja hapa kama Agwambo, kama Watakarua, na nitawaambia I told you. Unaenda penye mimi niko. Hey, mimi silipi rent, wewe unalipa. Mimi silipi chakula, wewe unafanya nini? Unalipa. I'm still children, na mimi ndo niko huku na act kama activist. Simama na utoke. Nakwambia all my creator friends who are like I fuck with, they're coming. So mbona usikam? Spread awareness. Tumia someone in video. Tokea guys. Do everything possible to be there. That's all I'm asking for. I love you guys so much. Na tutoke, na to protest. We have to fight for our rights.
Come. And told him it is not illegal to protest.
Yeah. And if you thought the young people are naive, uninformed, unintelligent, then you are in for a rude shock. You've just listened, and here we are fighting what we know.
The reason why we are here is because of ourselves. We are the one who pay taxes. And we're asking Ruto, we elected you, right? Why do you have to give your wife money? Why do you have to give Rigathi wife money? If there's no money in this country, why are we giving spouses money? Why do you have an illegal office like the one for Mudavadi? Why are we spending money renovating an office when a magistrate died in Makadara because she was in a tent? Yeah. The principal magistrate for Makadara was shot in a tent. They don't even have enough courts in Makadara, but you're renovating a house that actually exists. Nobody owns you unless you allow them to own you. No one can ride your back unless you bend it. And as Kenyans, we are not going to bend our backs for Zakai to ride it.
No. You will be arrested, my boss.
Agwambo, this is a message to you. Usitoke, don't come. Agwambo, please stay at home. We saw your efforts, okay? We saw everything that you did for Kenya. Now let us. We miss you, but Agwambo, please don't even come outside. Don't come outside. Tunatoka on your behalf, okay?
And with that message to the father of demonstrations in this country, the young people continued to exercise their constitutional rights, telling even Raila Amolo Odinga to stay away so that they can do it themselves. And this clearly has come to prove that this is not just about the finance bill.
I have experienced in all those protests I have gone to, there was a deep, deep resolve to salvage our country from what is eating us from within. There was a deep, deep resolve to really stand for what we believe is right and is just. And I feel this is something that is going to continue. I feel this is something that is like a Pandora's box has been opened. It's like saying, oh, we can actually bring change into our country.
Now, we have seen what happened to us yesterday, and we have sent a message that Kenya is not a police state. Yes. Kenya is a constitutional state, and the laws must be followed. They held us in Kamukunji, and for the number of hours that we were kept there, we were not happy. And we want to assure all the protesters that will be coming tomorrow, the number of lawyers that have represented us here today, by LSK and many other lawyers that have been representing us today, we want to thank you, and we want to assure you that as we move on, Kenya will rise again. We will rise again for our next generation that is coming up. And we are sending a message to the government that Kenya is not a police state. Long live the spirit of struggle, long live! Long live!
A female protester by the name Wanjiku Stephens, who, while donning her luminous green raincoat, shocked many by her bravery as she majestically danced towards a police water cannon and stood in front of it to stand in solidarity with a fellow protester.
Honestly, I don't know what happened, and I don't know where that courage came from, but nilijipata tu niko pale katikati.
Shakira.
I wasn't picketing, I wasn't shouting, I just wanted to walk away, but the police didn't allow me to do that.
In other countries, we know that sanitary towels are free. Why not Kenya? Why are we being charged to be on periods, something that we didn't choose?
We are not going anywhere. We are rejecting the finance bill. Parliament Sutafika. Niskume. I'm here for Kenya. I'm here for my people. I'm here for your rights.
And they aptly said, when we lose our fear, they lose their power. Young girls, young men, ladies and gentlemen stood for what they believe must be done for their own country. Kenya continues to experience unprecedented youth issues, and this has come of age. Our country is changing.
Petition to have tear gas flavors, because amwezi kwa tu mnatumia pilipili flavors. Pakeni mi.
Stop arresting us! Reject that bill! Reject that bill! Reject finance 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 bill!
This type of courage, boldness, conviction, and resolve to go out for what is right is proving that indeed we must change. But the big question would be, is there anything like legal picketing, protesting, or demonstration? Is it constitutional? And if it is, why do we have such scenarios? Why would the policemen shoot to kill? Why would you do this to young people? Yes, national security must be paramount, but when people write letters, approach the Inspector General, and do what they must do to notify the governing authorities about their intention, why kill young people?
Tukwenda maandamano yoyote, but tulikuwa tunapiga tu shots za changa tukisema reject finance bill, reject finance bill, na tukisema fuck you Ruto, fuck you Ruto. But anyways, mshabitisha, haina shida. 2027 tukutane kwa debe, hata mimi nitafanya kwa MP.
Barua toka Jaramogi na Kenyatta, wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa. Nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster, huyu Zakayo wanazidi kutubana. na wananchi tumeshika tama, juu hii ushuru imevuka na mipaka, milioni 800 eti confidential, na mama mboga nteseka uko ghetto, so wajiangalie na wasidhani eti tutanyamaza, wakitunyanyasa si tuko rada, kujipigania kama wameshindwa, wajiangalie bani, na wasidhani eti tutanyamaza, wakitunyanyasa si tuko rada, kujipigania kama wameshindwa.
Hello and welcome. We start with Kenya. While the country's parliament discusses the Finance Bill 2024, anger against the proposed tax hikes under the boil is mounting.
Hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Because at the end of the day, for the longest time, people used tribalism, people used all these things to try and divide the nation.
True.
But there's one thing which you are seeing right now.
Unit.
We don't care about tribalism, we don't care about where you're coming from, and we don't care if you are, I don't know, from, we don't care about all that. All we care about is the well-being of our people. And at this point, you can't use any form of weapon to come and try and divide these people. Because we have the power of social media in terms of connecting the numbers. Yeah. And as this, as Gen Zs, we are even looking at the potential. We are not just fighting for nothing. We actually are supposed to even start putting structures in place to make sure there is hakutakuwa na watu sasa wenye watatokea ati yo mimi ndo nakuwa leader. We don't want, we will choose the leader that we want.
17. Sadly, 17.
Not 19.
Not
I heard you're 19.
Aya, propaganda. Hata si tumesikia bili haipitishwi na inapitishwa. As you all know, this started with a simple TikTok video. Personally, I was a creator prior to all this, so I had to take the initiative to make the video. At least hata kama ingekuwa those 5 people that follow me, wakwe wameona. That's why I made the video, and yeah, it went viral and here we are.
From the streets to social media, where at its peak, more than 55,000 Kenyans participated in more than 10 hours of conversation to push for the release of digital influencer Billy Simani.
President William Ruto's own X account facing a harsh reception, forcing the president's X account handlers to quickly exit the space.
Why was he held, and why over 24 hours later he's yet to be presented? That is all we need you to tell us. This is not a platform for you to come and emancipate us on anything. Tunataka utuambie Billy yako wapi na mbona hapatikani, and why we are not allowed to see him. Watu wametembea police stations kumtafuta. He has not been booked at any police station, yet he's still missing, out of contact. Simu yake imekuwa confiscated. So we need you to tell us, where is crazy Nairobian? Tafadhali, take it away, Kipchumba.
Where is crazy? Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate your conversation. I didn't come here to speak, as many of you have said. I came here to listen. And sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what other people say. Sometimes also it's not what is right from your own view. It's because those you lead, what they think is right. So my appearance here was just for listening, and I've heard most of you. Some of the issues, yes, you're raising are very, very genuine. I don't.
So where is Billy? Where is Billy?
I don't know. Unfortunately,
Billy ako wapi? That's what we want to hear. Kindly.
Osama.
Yes, where is Nairobi?
I know you, of course, but as a matter of fact, I didn't know anything about Billy because, as you know,
Where is Billy? Space icon. Where tuambie tu mali Billy yako na hiyo story ishe hivyo.
I don't know about Billy, bro. I don't know about Billy.
All right then. If you don't know about Billy, if you do not know about Billy, you said you're here to listen to your people. So we are asking you to go tell your people to present Billy. That is all we want from you.
No problem. I'm happy to listen.
Asante sana. Yes, please tell your people. Billy, you've said you're not aware of it, so tell your people to let go of Billy unconditionally. We need Billy released. Billy has done no crime, and if they're charging him with anything, let them forward a charge sheet for it. We just need Billy released unconditionally and in record time. Thank you.
No problem. If you need
the free Billy.
If you need my help, I'm ready to help.
Yeah, we're already asking for your help. That is what
Thank you.
That's why you're here.
I've had you, and I'll pass the message to the relevant authorities.
Asante sana.
Please.
Continue with the struggle. Never peg your hopes. Listen to me. Never peg your hopes on 2027 because these people are very manipulative. It is now or never. Is that clear or not? I wish you the best of luck. And God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
And the lie persists, Mr. Speaker, because even some of the photos that we were seeing out of the streets, I can tell you as a graphic editor that they do not belong to this country. Photos were being taken off the internet and being edited and posed as Generation Z. I am a photo expert, Mr. Speaker, and I can point out to you photos that were edited to look like they were in the...
Nonsense. And with that, technology had just launched a new model of picketing, striking, demonstrating, protesting, and holding the government accountable. It was not going to be any easy either for any government officials who decided to pass the finance bill through to the second reading.
Hold it. We are doing this. Asante. All right.
Young people have vowed to continue their fight, and technology is going to shape the next revolution. Watch what happens moving forward.
I say, keep booing, keep cheering, keep saying no. Make sure you get enough content.
From cabinet secretaries, members of parliaments, and more, government officials continued to face the rage of young people being publicly displayed at different functions. The young people had the courage to stop them and say they no longer wanted to listen. Not even in churches, clergy stopped the politicians from engaging in petty politics, and this is also unprecedented. So much is about to change with the Occupy churches coming in, where politicians are not allowed on the pulpit. It remains a very sad moment for the country as young people demand accountability, asking their leaders why they passed the finance bill, yet it is as punitive as it came. Many went ahead to get the numbers of their own legislators, making phone calls and opening up directly to them, asking questions that are tough, and people continue to engage. The revolution is indeed in-house.
And you have disappointed us as residents of Naivasha constituency.
I voted yes because there's a lot for us. There's a lot for me. I've got 250 million for my Mayu.
Okay.
The victims to be resettled. You know, we don't just look at bread and what. And of course it has been removed. But there's a lot more.
Okay, so what we can urge you is that it's highlight time to pack your things and prepare to leave the office, because in 2027 we are kicking you out.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've been away. You cannot intimidate me. Please.
To ensure that they are putting the leaders in check. The thing moving forward is going to be a trajectory of going by the rule of law, of going by the Kenyan law, the 2010 constitution, of going by what is right and what is just.
2 fingers in the sky, kunja ngumi to the side, a dance that can no longer be done. Let's play a game. Put your finger down if you're a police officer whose job is to maintain law and order, but decide to throw tear gas at peaceful demonstrators and end up blowing your own hands. Right. The fingers are no longer with us in the room. Now, during what was meant to be a peaceful protest against the proposed finance bill, police officers did too much, as they normally do, by throwing tear gas canisters at protesters, arresting and harassing them as they followed instructions from their boss, Nairobi Police Commander Bungei, who called out to his juniors to scatter any gatherings in the CBD for lack of permits to protest. You would expect the law maintainers to understand the law itself, but no, every person has the right,
peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket and to present petitions to public authorities and of court. Unless, of course, the current government amended this chini ya maji without the knowledge of the mwananchi, giving leeway for this brutality. Well, Mr. President, tell us.
Ni upuzi. Kila mtu ni mpuzi.
Kwanza wananchi ni wapuzi.
Wananchi ni wapuzi.
Nakubaliana kabisa.
Hata wewe ni mpuzi.
Ndio hivyo.
Hata tunafanya nini hapa? Sisi ni wapuzi.
Tuache tu job zetu, si ndio?
Hata mnapiga makofi, hiyo ni upuzi.
Guy, mwadhani wa Igoro. Hata wale walikuwa kwa scandal ya NYS bado wako kwa government offices wanaana. Meru alichagua governor wakidhani atapiga Kawira, but sahi hakuna mwangaza. Nairobi Johnson bado anasaka ja. Kwa government inanua curtains za 10 million. Niambieni nani wanabebwa mapasia? Zakayo, maliza, uende.